You've built a retirement portfolio in your TSP or otherwise of over $1 million. Should you now hire a financial advisor? Let's read this from my man Chris Barfield from Barfield Financial. Love Barfield Financial. Love Chris Barfield. This is his weekly or monthly update, or I don't know, every now and again update. And he writes in this, when in doubt, max out and check out. Chris says, I wish I could share all the emails I get from people who have over $1 million in TSP balances that also say they felt dumb when all of their coworkers were discussing the market, specifically when to trade in and out of different funds. And as a result, they just maxed out their contributions, put everything in the C fund, and didn't tinker with a TSP for 20 years. They didn't get worked up over a crash, if they even knew a crash had happened, or what a crash is. They just put their heads down and systematically invested for the long term. Friends, there are certainly worse financial plans out there than this. I remember one specific agent who contacted me at retirement and asked if she should have a financial planner manage her money now. She had 1.4 mil in her TSP and felt very intimidated about the markets and investing. My words to her, you've accumulated over $1 million in an investment account with no one's help. By all means, seek professional advice, but understand there's a high likelihood that you're going to have a higher net worth than any financial planner you go to. Man, I could not agree more. I get this a lot. In fact, I'm working with a couple right now. I just bust their butts, years and years and years, just working, putting their heads down, raising kids, the whole thing, working. They wake up and now they got, a good amount in 401ks, 403bs, IRAs, whatnot, well into the seven figures. And they're like, do we need to do something differently? I'm like, other than tax planning. And I'm like, other than that, no. In this case, estate planning too. Why? Let's look at Chris Barfield's website. I'm such a fan of Chris. Hold on just a second. We'll bring it. Actually, let's just read Chris's stuff on TSP. The market, the C, as of Friday, this is past Friday, the C fund is up almost 5%. S is up 3%. I is down 7% over the year to date. Some stocks are hitting new high as the price of gold is. Silver is on a strong tear. And even real estate is still hanging in there with prices pretty strong and moving fast in most parts of the country. Seems like there's a disconnect between the economic conditions and the markets. And Chris goes on as his opinion that the market went down too fast and now it's coming up too fast. I completely agree. He goes on to say timing the market is hard. Yeah, I completely agree. You can't do it successfully, just can't. A market crash does not mean you won't make money. We have had serious market downturns in the past. We'll have them again. You can still average 8% a year over the long term, even if you lose 30% a month. Could not agree with that more. Make decisions that you'll be happy with 5 years from now, not 5 weeks from now. Could not agree with that more. This 100% crisis may also create opportunity. And Chris says it was hard not to buy a stock that had not appreciated significantly. I've not lost any companies, any money on any companies I purchased in March. Now, a few are up over 50%. One is up over 100%. 221 pay raise. Last month, group from both political parties recommended a 3% raise for government employees in 2021. This was done to match the military raise, also passed. However, the recent House Appropriations bill, there was no mention of the 3% raise. Interesting. Remember, if Congress doesn't specifically act on a raise, the default will be the White House's recommendation, and the White House is recommending 1%. Annual leave carryover. This still hasn't been fully resolved. If your leave was canceled due to the economy virus, your agency is authorized to restore your balance. However, there's not been a blanket authority for all leave to be restored. They're talking about that. Bottom line, you may want to get your leave on the books. Stay tuned for more. Long-term care policies. Chris says he's been inundated with questions on my thoughts about long-term care policies within the past few weeks. I think there's a seminar or two that covered that and generated a lot of questions. If you'll notice, I've not written much about long-term care, and there is a reason for it. I have not made up my mind on whether it's beneficial or not. At a certain point, it seemed like a pretty good deal. Then premiums skyrocketed, double in just 1 year for at least a few policies. The increases cost me to wonder if it's worth it. The more I study it, the more I find it to be quite expensive. I've had discussions with people's whose financial opinions I value, and they've come to the same conclusion. Specifically, I don't encourage people to get it. By the same token, I don't try to talk people out of it either. I completely agree. Chris says he understands the potential cost of care. The salesmen are good at that part. You'll be in a home that'll cost $30,000 a month, and you'll bankrupt your family, your neighbors, your community, and the next 4 generations. I don't find that to be the case from my personal experience. Maybe a good indication is your family history. I have not had any family members that were in homes prior to passing away, so my personal experience is not one that matches up with the main concerns of the salesman. He talks about Dan Jameson mentioned in his real world story of this recently in his FERS Guide newsletter. Based on Chris's recommendation, I bought Dan Jameson's FERS Guide 2020 for FERS. And there it is, Dan Jameson. I'll put this in a link in the show notes. Dan earned a master's degree in accounting from the University of Florida and holds active CPA licenses in Florida and Virginia. All right, so anyway, so this is FERS Guide 2020, regular FERS. Definitely something you'd want to buy. I'm getting a lot of emails from TSP members too. I'm getting ready to do I got this right here, a blacksmith craft. I picked it. I just literally pulled Dan Jameson's guy. This book fell out too, so I figured I'd show it to you. I don't know much about blacksmith, but I do know right there, that's an anvil. I want one to drop on my head when people start acting crazy. All right, so bottom line is just something, an area I'm not going to be much help in. Yeah, right on. We need another acronym. The Federal Employees Paid Leave Act now is now law. The OPM has spitting out some guidance on it. Federal employees can now get 12 weeks of paid leave after assuming a parental role. It must be taken after the event. All right, so I'll let you look at that more. $100 mid-career checkup is something new coming in. So it looks like Chris is going to start offering financial. Actually, I'm not sure what this is. My special, and I thoroughly enjoyed talking to each of you. Each situation is different. It was encouraging to see my people are actively building wealth each month. Each month have a long-term plan to retire early and comfortably. I'll be offering a comprehensive pre-retirement workup for those close to retirement or retirement eligibility. I've purchased OPM-approved software that creates retirement estimates. Oh, that's fantastic. These reports can be up to 60 pages if you like the full product, so that's good. So keep looking at Chris's website. And you can look at a sample. I'll put a link to his website. The Challenge Coin Project. In closing, G.K. Chesterton. There are 2 ways to get enough. One is to accumulate more and more. The other is desire less. Man, could not agree more. The Coin Challenge. So let's look at Chris's website. Pause for just a second. Look, I think you should subscribe to Chris's newsletter anyway. TSP or a federal government employee or not. This dude is just freaking awesome. I love Chris. I love what he's doing. I think he's kicking butt and taking names. And he's as real as the day is long. I love it. So anyway, you guys, risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. Subscribe to his monthly-ish newsletter. Newsletter's right here. Should I transfer my TSP? Why annuity set? All kinds of different things, man. I'm a big fan. Let's take a look at services. Yeah, so just lots of stuff here, man. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Chris here. Resources, OPM. That just makes my heart pain to see all the OPM stuff. Reminds me when I was getting out of the Army. Fill out this, fill out that. Like, could there be another acronym? Man. Oof. What do they say? Standard issue type 1, standard issue. 1 each, or I can't remember what you say in the Army about your gear. What DS gear? Was it DS gear? You had your rucks. I can't remember. All right, anyway, good stuff for Chris here. Definitely follow his newsletter. Email him if you want that $100 thing. I don't know what it covers, but it looks pretty good to me. So always remember, if you've accumulated over $1 million, the one thing you need is probably tax planning. You don't need some stupid financial advisor to manage your money. You just don't. A good CPA is absolutely worthwhile. And a good attorney will be worthwhile too. A financial advisor, nah. All right, we'll see you.